Hey guys, it's Marina again from LakeHickoryScuba and Marina. This video is going to be another commentated video here, and this is going to be a different angle from our recent ice dive up in New York. I'll put a link in the description below for the other video that we've already uploaded. But this is going to be from a different camera angle than before. During this video you're going to see a little bit more prep work with the divers at the surface. You're going to see a couple skills being practiced after our students had completed all their skills. They become ice diving certified. We ended up making one more dive with them, and so we allowed them to practice some of their skills, such as their emergency skills, just to get a little bit better comfortable or feel more comfortable with them. So you're also going to see a little bit more of the canopy underneath on this particular dive. You know, one of the joys of ice diving is being able to go under the ice and enjoying the shapes of the ice, you know, the structure of it. So from this camera angle you're going to be able to see that a little bit better than what you could in the other one. Once again, here at the beginning, we're just getting everything ready. Our surface tenders are getting our lines hooked up, getting our hand loops tied for us, doing gear checks, making sure our air is turned on. It's just all about safety when it comes to this. Here I'm giving a little bit of instruction to the two other divers, just saying, hey, we're going to go down. We're going to wait till we can all meet up. We're going to get in our formation that we've done predetermined how we're going to be in the water, or our positions towards each other, and then we'll continue with our dive. The gentleman back there in the orange toboggan, he is an ice diving instructor. Myself, they're in the orange dry suit. I'm an ice diving instructor. The gentleman there to the right of the camera, that's one of our other instructors. He did his ice diving course and his instructor course while he was up there. And then, of course, the camera angle that we're getting now, it's one of our ice diving students who received his certification while he was actually up there. Each surface personnel has their own job. We have a data recorder. You can kind of see her there to the left of the camera, see her boots on camera. She's recording everything from our air the time we get in, our air the time we get out, how long we were under, everything. She records everything for us. Each tender his duties rely strictly on the diver that he's tendering. And then we have several different personnel per diver to help gear up at the beginning of the dive. So we have several different camera angles. Once again, I'm filming from two different cameras. The gentleman that you got this angle from is filming, and then we got two cameras up top filming.
Yes, sir. Just keep your left hand on the ice. Circle in right in towards your triangle. Okay. You know, just dump right in. Yeah. Go ahead. Nice.
Okay, you can see the man standing back there in a tent. He's got a yellow harness on. That is our safety diver. He too is the ice diving instructor. Good thing about the crew that we use up there at the Lake Champlain Dive Shop, they've been doing this for many years. They've been ice diving for many years, so it's a good crew to work with. They make sure that us as the divers are their main priority. That's one reason that we really enjoy using them. There he's giving his okay signal once he gets under the water to let them know that he's okay. There's a good shot of the canopy. This particular dive, we had about 25-foot visibility, and you're going to see two dives during this video. We'll come up briefly on the surface, and then we'll go back down for a second dive. But you'll get to see some really cool shots of the hole from underneath and stuff like that. At the end of the video, you're also going to see some emergency drills being ran. And you're going to be able to see what can happen if gear malfunctions while under the ice. So, but here we're just getting into our formation. All along the bottom here, you're going to be able to see a bunch of white and black specks. What those are zebra mussels. The north is absolutely littered with zebra mussels. We're hoping that they won't invade us down here in the south, but zebra mussels are very, very sharp. If you touch them, they will cut you. A lot of the locals will tell you up there when they're swimming in these lakes in the summertime, they have to wear some type of protection on their feet. Tennis shoes, water shoes, something to help protect their feet. Here's some good shots of the canopy here. If you notice some of the black areas underneath the canopy, if you look closely, that's our bubbles. And a lot of people think that the ice is flat on the bottom. It's actually not. It's more concave. It's almost like a dome or a cathedral effect. And what happens is when you exhale, that expired gas is coming out at 98.6 degrees. Okay, the water's 34 and the ice is around 32. So as that 98.6 degrees air, or your expired gas, there you can see a water pocket there. As that hits the ice, it actually starts to melt it. Now, if you look directly above me and Mark there, you're going to see an arrow in the ice, and it's a bright white color. And during the prep of the ice diving site, we take the snow and we shovel out arrows and a long, like a wagon wheel type shape. Imagine what a wagon wheel looks like. And we shovel that out, and then we pour water across it, and we let it freeze, and that allows light to come through. What the arrow does, it also tells us which way it is back to the hole. So if our rope was ever to break, what we would do is swim to the surface, find that wagon wheel, find one of the spokes of it, and then follow the arrows back to the surface, or back to the hole. There you can see an air pocket right above my head. And it's basically just where the ice gets melted from the expired gas that we're exhaling, and it creates a little indention there, or a dome, where it melts the ice, and that's where all the air runs to. The bubbles are always going to run to the highest point, so that's what it's doing there. There's another good shot. You can actually see all the texture of the ice right there. This particular dive, we had absolutely great conditions. We had about 20 to 25 foot visibility. The air temperature outside was around 20 degrees, which was a lot warmer than last year. Last year it was around negative 15. We had several foot of snow to cut through, and then 3 foot of ice. Well, this year we had several inches of snow and only about 2 foot of ice. So much better conditions this year than what it was last year. Here in a minute, the diver's going to pan the camera up, and you're going to look directly up through the hole that we came through. And just to show you the visibility, you can see the people, our surface support personnel up top, and it's a good shot. It's a really good shot to take off this camera. Right here it is. As it focuses, see the guy standing in the hole there? Absolutely gorgeous shot. Coming to the end of our first dive here, it's going to skip in going into our second dive now. We decided to put this in the video for others to be able to learn the importance of using the appropriate equipment when ice diving. There's a reason that there's different models of regs on the market and different styles of BCs on the market, different masks on the market. Each type of gear is going to have its own specific use, and depending on what type of diving that you're doing. And the importance during ice diving is to make sure that you do have a good quality cold water reg. You'll notice as the diver gets in the water here, his reg immediately starts to freeze up, starts to free flow. They're able to get it stopped. Then his alternate does it. They're able to get it stopped. And then as he goes underneath the water, they all three start to free flow once again. They freeze up again. Now, he's got a good quality reg. However, it is not a cold water reg. So it just goes to show the importance of having the appropriate equipment for the type of diving that you want to do. So I'll let you watch here and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Hooked up, you're ever good? Same direction. Same general direction. Diver 3 set. We're ready. Alright, when you get in, you're going to do 3 pulls, right again? Give 3 pulls, and then go dive. Once you get situated, we get about halfway back. Well, all 3 line up. The left side will go first.
Here, I'm just giving a little final instruction here of what we're going to do. At the end of this dive, we let the divers practice their emergency drill once again, which is, hey, I'm in trouble, get me to the surface. It's where you give 3 emergency pulls to your tender and they pull you in. You'll get to see that at the end of the dive from a first-person standpoint, and then you'll get to see it from the surface, what it looks like for the surface personnel to be doing it.
The other thing is to make sure you're not crossed up with your lines, because the first guy coming in that's crossed up, the other guy's coming with him. Yeah, so you want to make sure you're not crossed up. Make sure before you give the 3 pulls, you're not crossed up.
Okay, as he gets in here, you'll hear his regulator just immediately starts to free flow. And there it starts to free flow. Once again, the importance of having the appropriate equipment for ice diving can't be stressed enough. There you can see one of our safety divers there in the black dry suit with the yellow harness. This is what we really enjoy about these guys up here. They're waiting on us hand and foot. Immediately they were able to cut his air off so that he didn't lose any air, and then as they thaw out his reg, they'll get it going again. Each diver has their own tender, and we have anywhere between 3 to 5 surface personnel per diver. So if, grand total there was 5 divers in the entire group. There's only 3 diving here with our group, but there was 5. So you got 5 personnel, 1 for each diver as far as tenders. So there's 10 people out on the ice, and then if you had 3 more per, that's an additional 15. We had probably 20 people out there. We had a good group of people. And this is not really one of those types of diving that you're going to be able to do without that surface personnel. Okay, as they got him working, he's going to come down, signal, and then you'll hear that it just immediately starts to free flow again. And then there goes the free flow. So he resurfaces. They're going to work on it again. Like I said, we chose to put this part in this video here just to show you what can happen. Once again, just to stress, make sure you have the right equipment. They end up putting his other second stage in there as well here in just a second.
Okay, he's good. Listen, when you're exhaling. Put the bucket down with him, down to him. If you go to the level of the water, it's okay. Go down. Okay. You're right. Don't use your power inflator when you're breathing in. Right. Okay? Okay. When you inhale, it's quick. One quick inhale. And then when you exhale, extremely slow. No, he's freezing up. Free flow. Okay? When you exhale, real slow. Long, slow exhalations to keep that regulator warm. Okay. If you go quick exhalations and a long, slow inhalation, you're going to freeze up every time. Okay? Okay. Let's see where we're at. Air's on. He's good.
Basically what they're telling him is as he's inhaling, if he's using his inflator at the same time for buoyancy, he's getting too much airflow to come through at a time. That fast airflow cools things off and it causes a freeze up. And they're just reminding him proper breathing techniques for ice diving. And now that they've got all his regs working for him again, there you can see it, the chunk that we actually pushed up under. But basically what we're going to do is we're going to go out to our feathers point, to the feathers reaches of our rope. We're going to get lined up. We're going to give our 3 emergency pulls, and then we're going to allow them, the students, to practice their emergency drills a little bit. So what you'll see is we'll give them 1 okay to let them know that we're actually okay. It's just for demonstration purposes. And then we'll give them 3 real sharp tugs, and then they'll pull us in. And you'll see just how quickly we can move a distance of about 100 feet underwater during an emergency. So that's what we're headed out to do now. If you listen close enough, you can hear the diver that's filming here. You can actually hear him skip breathing a little bit. It's a good thing about a camera. It's not going to lie to you. It's gonna pick up your breathing. And there he's holding it just for a second or two, and then he's exhaling. He'll breathe in, he'll hold it for a second or two, and then he'll exhale. That's really not a good way to breathe. Reaching the end of our rope here. get all three of us lined up. I think I've got to get an entanglement out of his rope here. We're going to do this directly below the canopy, just to kind of give you a visual reference of how fast we're moving underwater. And I'm gonna tell him to give one pull to let him know that he's actually okay. It's just for a demonstration. And he's gonna give him 3 really sharp pulls. Okay, so I tell him one pull to let him know that he's okay, and then 3 really sharp ones. So there's the first pull. He's going to give 3 sharp ones. 1, 2, 3. And in an emergency, this is exactly what would take place. You'd signal to the surface, and then they can pull you back to the hole. And then he is back at the surface. Now you're going to see from the surface, you get an angle from up here of myself and the other diver doing our emergency pulls, and see what the surface personnel do.
How was it? Oh, yeah, good. Want to go 2 or 3 more times?
Probably not.
Okay, if you'll watch right there in the background, they're fixing to start pulling the other diver in on his emergencies. There they're pulling him. You can see how fast they're pulling us.
One on hook right here. You want to get up? Do you want to get it up?
And then he's at the surface. And then you'll see an angle of them doing myself.
I'm good.
You're good? Okay, you want to go in and sit down? You want to do?
I'm done.
Alright. And here they're pulling me in. You can see how hard the surface personnel are working.
1700.
1740.
1740. Be up feet first.
And then there I am at the surface. So guys, I appreciate you watching this video. I hope you learned something from it. During these commentated videos, we're trying to show more and more actual scenes and not edited footage, so to speak, to where it just all looks glamorous. We want you to actually see what goes on during these dives. So as always, guys, make sure you follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, pin us on Pinterest, subscribe to us here on YouTube, and as always, guys, we appreciate your business.